All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pillow Talk Hour with Father Alex. I know there's no pillows around, but I got to set up the studio later on this week. So today we're going to be answering one of your questions that you guys sent me that relates to the topic of the title. All right. So if you guys ever want to send these types of questions, just go to mindfulattraction.org and you go sign up for an email coaching, and I'll answer your questions like this, or become a Patreon supporter. Let's begin. How do I shift the dynamics after messing up? This is actually a very common question. After meeting up with this guy I met off of dating apps, first of all, when you meet men off of dating apps, what tends to happen is that that moment between not knowing the person and knowing that you like and knowing that they like you when you meet them in real life, you spot a guy and you like him, but you don't know if he likes you. And over the days and weeks, you start slowly realizing through little eye contacts and little interactions that they start liking you, right? That process of realizing it between you and the guy is so important, and online dating removes that process. And that's why studies show that people who meet online have a higher divorce rate than people who meet through friends and family. So the biggest mistake is a lot of the times it's just meeting people online, to be honest with you. We had sex on the first night, protection all the way, all right? All right, I believe you. You don't need to say that. It felt very casual for me and no strings attached. There's nothing wrong with that. The night took us there and it was nice. I wasn't at all attached and acted very unbothered after that, which caused them to consistently reach out to me. Okay, yeah, sure, right? That's really good. Acting distant, keeping a distance. You see, again, me, as I've gotten older, I've been less of a fan of how dating is today, how we promote emotional distance. Too many of us are afraid to get hurt. Because we're always avoiding hurt, our bodies are sensitive to pain because we rarely experience pain. And a lot of people are just always putting up a front and always trying to be the first one to reject the other person. If you watch my channel, I want you to get used to getting hurt. I want your body to take those blows and learn how to use meditation to process those emotions so that you don't become avoidant. Because if you keep avoiding pain, you're never gonna find a real partner who loves you and who's vulnerable enough for you. And you're never gonna be vulnerable. That's important. I wasn't all attached and acted very unbothered after that, which caused him to consistently reach out to me. We kept talking and saw each other again. He even proposed several plans to get to know each other. The chemistry was very fun, spicy, and effortless. At the beginning, I felt I had the upper hand by my casual and independent attitude, right? That's good, because when you believe you have the upper hand and when you feel independent, you're gonna start acting as such. However, after 2 weeks, I don't know why I started projecting in the past situationships where the guy would act hot and cold towards me, and I kept going for months. All right, good. It's good that you're aware of that. I felt a slight change in the communication with this new guy, or maybe it was all in my head. I was hormonal, lol, and acted poorly by quickly overreacting and letting him know through text that I wasn't with his lack of communication after going half day without speaking to me. Okay, all right, calm down, put the knife down, all right? Because first of all, I always tell you guys, I want your reaction to anxiety to be not taking action. I want your reaction to anxiety to be a non-action. And the reason why that's important is
not taking immediate action when someone triggers your neediness or insecurity, and choosing to meditate instead can have a profound impact on rewiring your brain and breaking the pattern of projection and needy behavior. When we feel triggered, our instinct is often to react impulsively, driven by our insecurities and need for validation. However, by pausing and engaging in meditation instead, we give ourselves the opportunity to regulate our emotions and cultivate self-awareness. During meditation, we practice focusing our attention on the present moment, allowing us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. This heightened self-awareness enables us to recognize when we are projecting our insecurities onto others or engaging in needy behavior. Instead of acting out of fear or seeking external validation, we develop a deeper understanding of our underlying emotions and motivations. By consciously choosing to meditate when we feel anxious or triggered, we begin to rewire our brain over time. Research suggests that consistent meditation can lead to physical changes in the brain's neural pathways. It strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, while weakening the amygdala associated with fear and reactive behavior. This rewiring process allows us to gain greater control over our responses and break free from the automatic patterns of projection and neediness. While it may take time and consistent practice, the benefits of incorporating meditation into our lives can be transformative. By consciously choosing to pause, meditate, and regulate our emotions, we create space to reprogram our brain and cultivate healthier patterns of behavior. Over time, this rewiring helps us break free from the cycle of projection and neediness, leading to greater emotional well-being and more fulfilling relationships.
So by you doing non-action and relaxing the pain away through meditation, you're rewiring yourself so that the projecting mechanism doesn't lead to chasing, but it leads to an act of meditation and an act of relaxation. This will naturally calm your nonverbal cues when you meet him. It will stop the projecting mechanism, because projections occur when there's anxiety, when there's fear, and when there's something you really want. By you relaxing and bringing yourself to a state of equilibrium through meditation, you can over time literally rewire your brain to not react in a needy state of mind, but to react with relaxation at the face of uncertainty. That's what I've done in my life. And that's what you guys have to do. And it's an active process. It's a process that's uncomfortable. It's a process that hurts, but it's a process that has long-term benefits for everyone who does it, because it'll improve your relationships. You'll stop projecting onto your partners. A deep meditation practice is so important, and that's why I created a course, Emotional Mastery, which you could purchase in the description down below. So after 2 weeks, I acted poorly by quickly overreacting, which you could have just put the phone down and meditated for a few minutes. That's what I do. And change your reaction from feeling anxiety and acting with neediness. And letting him know through text I wasn't with his lack of communication. And this is what I say. In the beginning, when you barely know the person, you can't do this, right? Especially when you meet them online. If you know them through your friends, the difference is when you know them through friends, first of all, you don't have to have sex on the first date, because what is the first date? When you know them through friends and family, what is the first date? There is no first date. Sometimes just getting drinks as friends can be is black and white, because you don't even know if it's a date or not. That's the beauty. Is that there's so many questions and there's so much uncertainty that makes it more exciting. So when you meet through friends, it's very hard to say when is the first date. You know what I'm saying? So you sort of get to know them slowly, and this type of like comfort that you're trying to reach when you meet someone online, you already have when you meet them through your friends and family, or through a normal thing like social circle, or going on a running group, or joining a meditation club, and you see them every day, and over time you develop feelings. It's just a much better low pressure situation. I wasn't with his lack of communication. So if you want somebody to communicate more with you and you barely know them, just communicate less. Well, that's only when you barely know them. But when you have comfort and you know them, you can communicate it. But when you barely know them and it's the first few weeks, if you want them to call you more, call them less. If you want them to see you more, see them less. If you want them to respond faster, respond slower. You get what I'm saying? And that will reverse the dynamic. And acted poorly by quickly overreacting and letting him know through text I wasn't okay. Communication after half day without speaking to me. I know it was bad and embarrassing. He was shocked. I later apologized, but why would you apologize for expressing yourself? Don't make the mistakes of, once you make a mistake, apologizing for your mistake. No. Don't apologize for mistakes. Own up to it. Because if you take back your mistakes, you actually add on it and let her know.
If you are unsure of a course of action, do not attempt it. Your doubts and hesitations will infect your execution. Timidity is dangerous. Better to enter with boldness. Any mistakes you commit through audacity are easily corrected with more audacity. Everyone admires the bold. No one honors the timid.
I let her apologize, but things haven't been the same since. He texts me, but he goes days without talking. He texts me asking how I was. I replied and asked him how he was, and he hasn't replied in days. Oh, Lord. How do I shift the dynamic if it's even possible at this point? I want him to desire me again. I wish I came upon your video sooner. Help. Look, first of all, you got to stop the communication. Break it off. Just say, hey, look, man, I like you, but I don't think we want the same thing. And the reason why is because, like I said, if you want him to give you more, give him less. When you barely know someone and they're not giving you what you want, rather than complain, just give them less of what you want them to give you. And what will happen is that if they really like you, first of all, if he really liked you, he would have found your complaint to be flattering. He would have interpreted you opening up, you expressing how you feel, you expressing your frustrations, and he would have taken that as a sign for him to open up. When somebody likes you, you can make mistakes and they'll still forgive you for it. In fact, your mistake will look appealing. There's a certain grace to your mistakes when somebody likes you, right? So that's the first thing. It's been a few weeks and you open up by saying that you got annoyed and he pulled away. What does that say? Yes, you did make a mistake, but also you became vulnerable. And what did he do? He didn't become vulnerable himself. He shut himself off. It meant that he really didn't like you. And unfortunately, it's not that there's nothing wrong with you. There really isn't. He just doesn't like you. You know what I'm saying? Because if he did like you, he would have chased harder, right? And the fact that you pulled away, the fact that you haven't texted him, good, and he hasn't texted you, means he doesn't miss you. So the first thing about how to reverse a situation is, first, let's find out what's possible. Is he showing any initiative on his part? Do you pull away, and by you pulling away, does he chase? And if he doesn't do that, then the next step, the first step in doing this is assessing how much he likes you. And this is how you assess. So if you do pull away and he takes a step forward, that's a good sign. So once you pull away and he takes a step forward, always be one step behind him. If he expresses his emotions at a 10, express it at a 9. If he expresses it at an 8, express it at a 7. If he wants to see you 5 times a week, see him 3 times a week, at least in the beginning. The more you want from him, the less you give initially. But your only responsibility is just respond to the text and say yes to the meetups. Just don't initiate anything. Let him do all the work until he complains to you that you don't do the work. Until he complains to you why you don't chase him as much as he chases you. And this is the hard part, is that a lot of people come to me thinking I'm Black Jesus, that I could do some black magic type of stuff. Okay, I am not Haitian, ladies and gentlemen. That's racist. My grandma, she does like magic too, but anyways, but hey man, I had Haitian friends in Dominican Republic, man, and we used to always make jokes, man. But yeah, man, like that's how you reverse the dynamic. The first thing to reversing the dynamic is accepting what's already there. If you're noticing that this person doesn't chase when you pull away, don't go further. Don't say he's shy. Don't say he's hurt. Don't say he's traumatized and that's why he doesn't chase. No. Just realize that he doesn't like you enough to open up. You know, so he hasn't chased you. He hasn't done anything. So just leave it there, right? Not every situation can be reversed. And that's the most important thing to know. First, see if you can win the battle before engaging in the battle. All right? Anyways, if you guys ever want to work with me one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org to work with me one-on-one. If you guys want to learn how to develop a type of charisma that will make a man like this become attracted to you, the type of charisma that I'm talking about is 2 types, internal and external. I have a course that I created. It's called Charisma Blueprint that will teach you. I don't care how boring you are. I don't care if you're more boring than white rice with no salt. I don't give a fuck. If you apply what this course teaches you about how to project charisma, how to create charisma, anybody, as boring as you are, can project an interesting charisma. The type of charisma that will gravitate people towards you. You can order it now by clicking on the description down below where it says join the charisma. And there's also a free video that you can watch there to assess whether or not you like it. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to answer your question, my love, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. I'm not closing the channel today.